कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे 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 राम नाम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम नाम हरे 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 राम नाम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम नाम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण You have a chair, one more chair. My wife, I think she wants to sit on chair. She prefers the chair, she says. Outside there's some chairs there. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram. Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, remote. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivajari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutabada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanyudhamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gope Sagariganta Radha Kanta Namastade Tattaganchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavane Shari Prishabhanu Sade Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivajari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Rama Rama Hare 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 Nama Eva Kevalam Kaulam Nastyeva Gattiranyata Jayati Jayati Namananda Rupam Murare Veramita Nijadharam Dhyana Pujati Atam Kattamapi Sakridatam Muktinam Praninam Yat Paramamritam Ekanam Jivanam Dushanam Me Maduram Madurebhyopi Mangalebhyopi Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyopi Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. So we're reading from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The eastern section, second wave, Sadhana Bhakti. So, different offenses were described to be avoided in regards to the deities, Seva Parad. First, a list of 32 offenses were listed. And then further 32 were mentioned. So elsewhere it is also mentioned besides all these offenses. Let me see here. It is mentioned also that actually in other Puranas more offenses are listed. And it is mentioned also stepping over the used garlands and flowers. Sometimes you can see some flowers, they fall on the floor and then people are stepping over them or stepping on them, scolding the deity, and so on. So a further point is mentioned here that though deity worship is not, though devata worship is condemned, so one should not worship the demigods, but we should worship the Lord. But however, here it is mentioned that when we worship the Lord and the Smarta Brahmanas, they are still following that. First they will worship Vignesh, so the Lord of Vigna, of the different obstacles which may be there. So that refers to Ganesh. So, but generally the Vaishnavas, instead of worshipping Ganesh, they worship, especially in the Sri Sampradaya, they worship Vishwaksena. Or the four Kumaras instead. So Vishwaksena is the commander-in-chief of Vishnu's army. Some places it is mentioned also that Durga and Saraswati may also be worshipped before. So it is definitely mentioned because at that time Sanat Goswami, when he wrote or he compiled the Hari Bhakti Vilas, there were many Smarta Brahmanas, so he didn't want them to be against him, so therefore he also mentioned about them that we may worship Ganesh or Durga or Saraswati before worshipping the Ishtadev. But then later on also he has clarified that, and Gopabhat Goswami also very strongly is recommended that we worship the spiritual master and our Ishtadev, and discouraging even of worshipping Ganesh, Durga and Saraswati, except for elaborate functions like installing the deities and new temples. Then these personalities, they are also shown respect and worshipped also in a simple way. And then after is a mentioning here about the Namaparad. Offenses against the name are found in Padma Purana. That you all know, right? What is first offense? Pradeep, first offense? क्या हिंदी में? Yeah, you can say in Hindi also.
भगवान नाम के प्रचार में जीवन समर्पण कर भक्तों का निंदा
criticism, to blaspheme the devotees of the Lord, lives in propagating the holy name of the Lord. You forgot? You forgot. Kartik time. Yeah. So therefore every Kartik we recite them, so that at least sometimes you can remember and you can avoid to criticize any devotee. Sit properly. Yes.
Why just devotees? Why not everyone? Why just devotees?
Well,
Why do you have to be so selective?
well, the thing is that generally, yes, it is true. A devotee, he will avoid criticizing anybody, not only devotees. And but at the same time, so for example, the advanced devotees also, they are very careful of not criticizing any devotee, but even others, even so for that matter, just like the Mayavadis. So they're also transcendentalists, they're spiritualists according to Bhagavatam, two kinds of transcendentalists that is mentioned by Rishabhadeva in the 5th canto. So those who are worshipping the Supreme Lord, the personal aspect of the Absolute Truth, they are Mahatmas, but even those who contemplate the impersonal aspect of the Absolute Truth, so they're also seen as Mahatmas because they are engaged in spiritual activities and they they're trying to realize their self as spirit soul. So from that point of view, then one may show respect. And because they're also jivas, ultimately they're also servants of Krishna, ultimately, but they have not realized their true nature. Their understanding is only partial, that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. So therefore, from one point of view, and so the pure devotees, they may show respect to them also. On the other hand, for preaching, then sometimes the pure devotees also are very strongly speaking against the Mayavadis, as, for example, even the greatest offenders of the Lord. Because they are saying the Absolute Truth has no form. And so in this way, saying the Absolute Truth has no feelings, the Absolute Truth cannot see and hear anything. So that is an offense to the Supreme Lord. Because the Absolute Truth has a form, and the Supreme Being, Krishna, he can see, he can hear, he has feelings. So sometimes for preaching, that the pure devotees, they are very strongly speaking about the Mayavadis also. And even Prabhupada calling them rascals. And so the Acharya, he may sometimes do that, but so we have to see time, place, and circumstances. So sometimes there's a need to be strong also. But the Mahabhagavad, the pure devotee who is simply engaged in serving the Lord, and he's seeing everyone as a servant of the Lord, he will never criticize anyone. But when the Mahabhagavad is coming to the platform of a Madhyamadikari in order to preach, then sometimes he may speak some strong words against the Mayavadis, against materialistic persons. So sometimes there's a need to do that. Second, okay, good. Considering names of Shiva and others independent of Vishnu. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master or consider him an ordinary man. Fourth, blaspheme. Yeah, blaspheme the Vedic literatures or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version. Okay, you just finished Bhakti Shastri, huh? So you learned all these things, huh?
No.
Oh yeah.
But I cannot learn shlokas. I don't know. Like, it's so
You
difficult.
cannot
I got
learn?
from the chapter 1 till the chapter 10. It is so difficult to memorize. Even 5 shlokas.
Only acha, okay.
It's very difficult. I tried everything. People told me, get up early in the morning, do one shloka, one line of that shloka every day. I've tried so many things.
Okay.
But
What we used to do, we used to have the visiting cards, the empty one, and write the shloka in Sanskrit and or transliteration, and the backside the English or whatever, and keep it here or keep it somewhere in your pocket.
now but that book which has all the
Important shlokas.
Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
So like before I start chanting, I read one shloka every day.
Okay.
I'm trying, I'm
Okay.
really trying. Please pray for me, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay, I pray for you that at least you can learn 20 shlokas. And what about you? How many? You forgot all of them? Okay. At least Trinada Pisunichina, right? Okay, right. Shikshashtakam every day. Okay, good. That is most important. Okay, you know the 5th one now? You're learning? The 5th verse? Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram? Okay, next time you recite. 5th one? Yeah, thinking the glories of the name as imagination. 6th? Yes, give some interpretation on the holy names of the Lord. 7th? Yes, commit sinful activities and the strength of chanting the holy names. 8th? To consider. It's mentioned in Kama Kanda section of the Vedas. Yes. 9th? Okay. Yes. To try to instruct the faithless persons in the glories of the holy names. So he was in Delhi, right? Bhakti training in Delhi. So he knows. Okay, good. And he knows quite some shlokas. But you have to revise, otherwise you forget. Right? Okay. 10th? Not, what's that?
You were always reciting that.
Yeah, right, yeah. 10th offense is not to have complete faith in chanting the holy names and to maintain material attachment. Even after understanding so many instructions on this subject matter, it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Anyone who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve Krishna Prem. Yeah. So that is there, so we have to try to avoid these offenses. And Krishna Prem anyhow, that we have to wait a little longer. Even so, if you are attentive, then first you come to the platform of first Nam Shraddha. First we have some Shraddha, that by chanting the holy names you will make some advancement. And then, but still, little problem is there, then our Shraddha sometimes may be disturbed. Why is happening to me, this problem, that problem? So, but Shraddha has to be there, and then Nishta, Nam Nishta. We should have faith and the strong determination that no matter what happens, so I should chant the holy names, and Krishna is always there to help me. So in Nam Nishta, that it means the devotee has strong faith and determination that he will advance. And then we should try to see that we get a taste for chanting the holy name. Nam Ruchi. So when we have a taste, then things are more easy, and then so that is the devotee who is more advanced, intermediate devotee, and then he may advance further and have Nam Bhakti, for the Lord. And then bhav may come, and then nam prem may be there, or nam ras. So when the relationship with Krishna is mature, is realized, and then prem will be there, and then ras will be experienced. The transcendental mellow will be there in loving exchange with Krishna. So Rupa Goswami is mentioning that all these offenses with scriptural references should be examined in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, which is compiled by Sanatana Goswami. So in this way here also you can see that the acharyas are hinting what we may read. So, but yes, it should be under the guidance of the spiritual master. So in Hari Bhakti Vilas, there's more extensive explanation about these different offenses and giving quotes from the Vedic literatures in regards to the offenses towards the holy names. So it should be avoided at any cost. So that we can come to the next platform, Namabhas, the reflection of the pure name. And if we chant without offenses for some time, then we may eventually come to the platform of chanting the pure name, Shuddhanam. And next verse, Tannindadi asahishnata yatha sri dashame. So, not tolerating criticism of the Lord or his devotee, as mentioned in 10th canto. Nindam bhagavata shrinvams tad parasya janasya va tato na paiti yasopi yatyadha sukritachutaha. Anyone who fails to leave that place immediately where he hears criticism of the Supreme Lord or his faithful devotee will certainly fall down bereft of his pious credit. So we should avoid hearing blasphemy of the Supreme Lord or his devotees. Otherwise, what will happen? Sukritat chutaha. Sukriti means the pious activities which we may have performed, they will be nullified if one is criticizing or hearing somebody criticizing the Lord. So that we should try to avoid. And leave the place or block one's ears. No, Vishnu, Vishnu, Krishna, Krishna, I don't want to hear that. Even Mahaprabhu, of course, that is something different, that is his pastime. But finally, when the devotees realized that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, then sometimes we were saying, oh Mahaprabhu, you are the Supreme Lord, you are Vishnu. Then he was saying, Vishnu, 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 no, don't say that, don't say that. So he was discouraging the devotees from addressing him as the Supreme Lord, because he wanted to show that you should be always very humble and not think that we are a special personality. So, but actually Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, but at the same time he came as a devotee to show how to act as a devotee, how to behave as a devotee, how to perform devotional service. So for that purpose he assumed the role of a devotee, of a bhakta, and then he distributed the holy names and gave transcendental knowledge to so many conditioned souls. And specifically then he came to give also Braj Bhakti and Unad Ujjala Ras, the most shining, bright mellow of the Madhurya Bhav, the loving sentiments of the gopis. So Mahaprabhu also he mentioned to the devotees that we should avoid criticizing others. And when he was in Jagannath Puri, many devotees, they used to come and see Mahaprabhu. On the occasion of Snan Yatra, they used to come from Bengal or even other places, but mostly from Bengal. They used to come to Puri to take darshan of Jagannath, but specifically actually to come and see Mahaprabhu. And then one time, so the Kandvasis were there from Bengal, and the Mahaprabhu asked them they asked Mahaprabhu, what is the symptom of a Vaishnav? And first he explained about the Kanishtadikari, so who has some faith in the Lord and who's chanting the holy names. And the next year he explained about the symptoms of Madhyamadikari. And then the third year he explained about the symptoms of Uttam Vaishnava. And he also specifically mentioned that Uttam Vaishnava is absorbed in chanting the holy names, and specifically so is never criticizing any devotee. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu encouraged the devotees to chant the holy names nicely, to have a good relationship with all others, and especially nobody should criticize other Vaishnavas. So Mahaprabhu was the ideal teacher also. By his own example, he was showing how to perform devotional service, how to behave, first as a grihasta, and then first as a student, a good student. Of course, in his childhood he was naughty, which is okay, which is all right for a child to be naughty, it is normal. And Krishna is naughty also. So Nimai was naughty also, but then when he was going to school, then he was a good student, and then as a householder, he was, for a few years he was a good householder till he entered the sannyas ashram after a few years. But it is mentioned also that Matri Bhakta, that Mahaprabhu was the best of the devotees of mothers. So he was respecting very much his mother, showing how a good son should try to take care of his mother. But then of course again when he took sannyas, so his mother was devastated. But then later on also, upon her request, he stayed in Jagannath Puri, because devotees used to come from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri, or from Jagannath Puri to Navadvip, because everyone used to go to take darshan of Jagannath for Snan Yatra, Ratha Yatra. And because Navadvip was a place of learning also, therefore many persons used to go to Navadvip from different places, from Puri also. So in this way she could get news about Mahaprabhu, about her son. And then actually because she was lovingly preparing something for her son, so therefore Mahaprabhu, he manifested himself there and accepted the offering. Just like we offer something to the deities, Mahaprabhu, and then they will accept. So she was making an offering to the Lord, and then Mahaprabhu was accepting. And then, so one time actually she was doing an offering, And Mahaprabhu ate everything. And so the plate was empty and she was bewildered. And maybe she thought, maybe I forgot to make the plate. So let me clean the plate. She was bewildered. And she made the plate again and then she offered again. And then Mahaprabhu accepted again. So that is Bhav Prakash. Although he was in Puri, but he manifested there also. And then later, he also, actually through his devotees, then he explained to her also. I remember one time, and in this way, just strengthening her faith. Of course, she had full faith in Nimai Pandit. And she realized also that he's the Supreme Lord. But still, so he performed the loving exchange with his mother. Because actually in the spiritual world, so Gauranga Sundar saw he's always in Navadvip with his associates, with his mother. In the spiritual world, he is never taking sannyas. Sannyas Lila is only in this world. Now Krishna is never going to Mathura. He's always in Braj. That is only in this world that he's going to Mathura. So in this world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was the ideal teacher, ideal devotee. And so he told the devotees many times not to criticize anyone. And there was, of course, always a wonderful loving exchange. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was also very strict as a sannyasi, and he expected others to be strict also, as sannyasi especially, or brahmacharis also. And so in regards to sadachar, proper behavior, so as a grihastha, he was following the rules and regulations for the grihasthas, or as a brahmana, because his father was a brahmana. Dvija Shiromani, therefore he is addressed as the crest jewel, as the foremost of the brahmanas. And he was known as Nimai Pandit, Pandit, a great scholar. And as a sannyasi also, he was very strict in following the rules and regulations of the sannyasa ashram. Always humble, tolerant, respectful. But when necessary, he was very strong also. Atha Vaishnav Chinnadriti Yata Padme, reading the marks of a Vaishnav, shown in Padma Purana. Ye Kanta Lagna Tulasi Marinakshamala, Ye Bahula Parichinnita Sanka Chakra, Ye Va Lalata Palaka Lasad Urva Pondras, Te Vaishnava Bhuvanam Ashu Pavitrayanti. Those Vaishnavas who have tulsi beads, neck beads. Everyone has? Big devotee, big neck beads here, huh? Lotus seed beads and japa beads around their necks. Acha, tulsi beads means the japa beads. So either lotus beads or lotus seed beads. So some are chanting on lotus seed beads. And japa beads around their necks, kantimala, who have their shoulders marked with the signs of Kanchan Chakra and who have tilak on their foreheads quickly purify the earth. Purport. Commentary by Vaishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. The beads may be made of tulasi wood or the ripe seeds found in the center of the lotus seed. Aksha Mala means a string of beads named Aksha because one can count from the first syllable of the alphabet to the last. Ksha. And Ksha. But mostly also refers to the Rudraksha beads. So, but here, of course, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, because here there is a general statement for all the Vaishnavas, means those who worship, those in the Sri Sampradaya who worship Vishnu or Lakshmi Narayan, they usually have the shank and the chakra here on the shoulders. Even many times they actually make it permanent with a hot, what's called the mudra, what is called? A stamp is there, stamp, hot stamp of the conch and chakra, and then they put it here. And that stays permanent. But the Vaishnavas, they should not do this, the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because we hope to attain the shelter of Sri Radha and Krishna. And we do not want to go to Dwarka, or we do not want to go to Vaikuntha. So therefore, we don't have the Shank and Chakra here. We only have the Tulsi and the sign of the Vaishnavas, Tilak and the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So on the forehead, also on 12 parts of the body. So the taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and Tulsi Devi is situated there at the lotus feet of the Lord also. So different explanations are there also of the sign according to Vaishnavas. Sometimes it is mentioned also there that Brahma and Mahesh and Vishnu are situated there. But again, here as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we just see, when we see the tilak, we remember Krishna's lotus foot and Tulsi, which is situated at Krishna's lotus feet. And so on the different parts. But it is mentioned also in Hari Bhakti Vilas that we may write the name of the Lord here, like Krishna or Hare Krishna, but with chanda, not permanent. But you can see sometimes devotees also, they have permanent tilak. They have a stamp, they put a stamp here, permanent tattoo of the Vaishnav tilak. But we don't need to do that. And sometimes the name of the Lord also. Sometimes other things also. Sometimes Jagannath here, or or a flute or a peacock feather. But better to be simple and not to have so many tattoos. No need of tattoos. Simple, we just have the tilak, which is with Gopi Chandan. And the Kantimala, it's okay, but should not be too big. Should be, some right Trinada Pisunichena. No need. But you should remember, and you should be acting in this way. So, it is mentioned by Mahaprabhu, we should wear this mantra, Trinada Pisunichena, around the neck, just like the Kantimala. That is true. But that means we should be in that mood always, that I'm very insignificant, and we should be very humble, tolerant, respectful. That should be there. So in this way, simply writing, but then if you're not following, what is the use? So better you follow, and nothing is written is there. so that would be better. But yes, so the Kanti mala should not be too big. This is maximum. Yeah, here's big Kanti mala there. It's okay, but don't have bigger than that. Sometimes you see devotees even bigger than that. Huge. Yeah, but this is like maximum. I mean, a big devotee, big Kanti mala, huh?
And Gurudev name Radha.
Now you don't have to write. Where? Where? Bees may. Acha. Yes, sometimes they have written here Radha Krishna. No need, but not a big problem. Yeah, sometimes they have written here also. But now if one is initiated, one should always wear the Kanti mala. One should not take out. If there's some problem, we have to see. Yeah. Fashion. Yeah, fashion. No. We should not show off. We should not follow a fashion of somebody. But we should see the Vaishnav China, which has been told by the Acharyas. So usually if one is initiated, the Kanti mala should go 3 times around for those who are initiated. Yeah. Preferably. You have 2 only?
Yes.
Oh, yesterday the Kanti mala broke. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's not permanent. It can break, yeah. Okay, next. Namakshadriti yatha skande. Reading the syllables of the name, Namakshar. Hari namaskara yutam bhale gopi mridankitam tulasi maliko raksam sprishe shuryanam yamud bhavataha. The servants of Yama will not touch those who have the names of Hari on their body, who have gopi chandan tilak on their foreheads, and who have tulsi beads on their chests. Gopi Miridankita means tilak made of gopi chandan. So sometimes you may write the name Hari or Hare Krishna here also. Or sometimes they write here also. Gaur or Gaur, yeah. Mahaprabhu. That's fine. Gaur is also Hari. Gaura Hari. Golden Hari. Paramecha. Krishna namakshayar gatram anyake ankaye chandanadina saloka pavano bhutva tasya lokam avapnuyat. It is said in the Padma Purana as well. He who has the syllables of Krishna's names marked on his body with chandan. So chandan is okay for Gauri Vaishnavas. After purifying this world, attains the planet of the Lord. Nirmalya Driti Yata Ekadashe. In the 11th canto it is mentioned, wearing the garlands used by the Lord. Trayopa Bhukta Shraganda Vasolankare Charchitaha Uchista Bhojino Dasha Stava Mayam Jayemahi. Is also a famous verse. Simply by decorating oneself with garlands, fragrant oils. No garland here today? Speaking about garlands, no Maha garland? Okay, no problem. He's bringing all the time garlands. In the evening he will bring. Okay. Simply by decorating ourselves with the garlands, fragrant oils, clothes and ornaments that we have already enjoyed. So speaking to Krishna. That is Uddhav is speaking to Krishna, 11th canto. Almost the whole 11th canto is about a conversation of Uddhav with Krishna. Simply by decorating ourselves with the garlands, fragrant oils, clothes and ornaments that we have already enjoyed, and by eating the remnants of your meals, Mahaprasad. We, your servants, will indeed conquer your illusory energy. So one can become free from Maya by taking Krishna Prasad, by wearing the Lord's garlands, or sometimes also the Lord's cloth, or ornaments like sometimes chadars of the deities, or the fragrant oil which we offer to the deities in the morning after Mangalatik, which they call Nrishinga oil. It's not really Nrishinga oil, it's Krishna's Mahaprasad, but it's chanting during the time when we chant the Nrishinga Stotram. This is the statement of Uddhav. The statement also applies where Krishna is not personally present. Jayemahi means we can conquer. The two verses following this verse are Vatavasana yarishaya shamana urvamantinaha brahmakyam damate yanti Santa Sanyasino Malaha Vayam Tviyaha Mahayogin Brahmanta Karma Vartmasu Vartaya Tarishyama Stava Kaidushtaram Namaha. Acha. Naked sages. So, Naga Baba. There are no Naga Baba in India. Not wearing any cloth. Sometimes you see them during Kumbh Mela. Sometimes some of them come here also, but rarely. Naked sages who seriously endeavor in spiritual practice, who have raised their semen upward, who are peaceful and sinless members of the renounced order, attain the spiritual abode called Brahman, O greatest of mystics. Although we are conditioned souls wandering on the path of fruitive work, we will certainly cross beyond the darkness of this material world simply by hearing about your Lordship in the association of your devotees. Tarishyamaha means we can cross over the material existence. So there are some people who are performing great austerities, so that is mentioned here. That is the point here, like not wearing any cloth. And they are spiritually fixed, and they perform great austerities, and so usually they are in a renounced order, but then many of them they are also Mayavadis, many of them. So then what is the use? They may go to the Brahmajyoti. But then on the other hand, so the devotees of the Lord, they may be still wandering in this world and engage in external activities, even taking care of the family. But then still, they're confident that by hearing about the Lord's pastimes with His devotees, in the association of the devotees, and then they can cross over this material world. So in other words, so even householders, they can, or even as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Vaishya Tata Shudras, Stri Vaishya Tata Shudras, so women, even so the Vaishnavas, the businessmen, or even those who are simple laborers, the Shudras, who may not be intelligent, and they're mostly all married, and they take care of the family, but if they become devoted to Krishna, if they surrender to Krishna, then they may also be liberated. Whereas those who perform great austerities, and they renounce completely this material world, but then if they meditate on the impersonal Brahman, they will only go to the Brahmajyoti, and then what is the use? So that is the point here which is mentioned. Any question? So we'll keep it short because I'm not supposed to sit too long. So any question? Yes. Seed. Yeah. Yeah. Vaishnavas, they can chant the lotus seed beads. Yeah. Lotus seed beads. Vaishnavas can chant. Yeah.
Makhan.
Makhana no. Makhana I eat.
Lotus.
Yeah, this is, but that is different. Yeah.
पुलिस चौकी पर मुझे फोन वाले बैठते हैं
हाँ.
एक के पास है वाले रंग की देखा
In mechanic. Yeah. Yeah, you can get, but not very often. Not so easily available. But because mostly people, they don't ask, so they're not keeping. Especially here in Vrindavan, you go to places like Haridwar or like that, that is more common. There you can have all kinds of beads because all kinds of people are there. So Rudraksha there also, many kinds of Mayavadis also there. And anyhow, from all the Sampradayas that may be there in Haridwar. Whereas even in Braj, of course, different devotees of different Sampradayas may be there, but mostly they worship them Krishna, Radha Krishna.
Yeah, Mayavadi.
Maya, yeah, in Braj, everything is here in Braj. Even Mayavadis are there. Yeah. Yeah. Even a Parikrama Marg, there's, what is it? Soasmi. So there's one ashram, Mayavadi ashram is there. And Parikrama Marg. Yeah. And those Ramanandis from the Ramanuja Sampradaya may be there also. Yeah. So, and they respect Radha Krishna. They stay in Braj and they respect Radha Krishna also. They know about Radha Krishna also. They know about Mahaprabhu also. Those who are knowledgeable, they know about the other Sampradayas also. So even one time I was in South India, in Sri Rangam, I stayed there. We also went, right? This time Sri Rangam. So we stayed a few days. Many years ago I was there also with one. I was brahmachari at that time with one more brahmachari. I stayed in one ashram of the devotees of Ramanuja Sampradaya. So one, definitely also pure Vaishnava. And he knew about Radha Krishna. He knew about Mahaprabhu. And he understood that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord. So he knew about ISKCON, about Prabhupada. He was glorifying Prabhupada. So very special person. So are there some. But even here in Braj, there are many wonderful Vaishnavas from the other Sampradaya also. So even Balaram Baba also is there, just nearby here. Worshipping Sitaram, but then they respect Radha Krishna, of course, also. And they respect the devotees. That is a true Vaishnava. He's not only seeing his Lord, but he's respecting all the devotees who are worshipping the Lord. Therefore, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada also introduced that we should respect all the acharyas of the Sampradayas and the original Guru in the Sampradaya, like Lord Brahma, Lakshmi Devi, the four Kumaras, and Lord Shiva also. So they all have to be respected. So true Vaishnava is respecting all the Vaishnavas, not only that, but is respecting all the jivas, understanding that they are eternal servants of the Lord. So we should try to become true Vaishnava. Flag. You saw? Oh yeah, they're Ramanuja. Yeah, there on the turning there. If you go towards the Gosala side, there's one Acharya there. That is Ramanuja. Acharya is there. They have a kind of shrine is there. It's still there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's still there, right? Somehow in the corner of the street there. to glorify their Acharya. And they have one ashram here just behind Radhe Priyadam.
Once a year they open that gate.
Yeah, once a year. And they do puja there. Balaji temple is there. So we should respect all Vaishnavas, all Jivas. Anything else? Hare Krishna.